Hey guys, Christin Collins. Hope you're doing well. Really excited this week to dive deeper into weariness and living a life of compassion, and how does courage play a role in that? I've had the opportunity over the past couple days to connect with two of my favorite people who have been really instrumental in my awareness, my self-healing, and my actualization. And the first was a colleague and friend, Dave Fleming. And Dave was in my life during a really deep, dark spot when I was really lost and trying to understand, how do I take myself out of this dark place and live an authentic life that's satiating and whole. And some of Dave's work was really, really pivotal to help me understand that we are constantly in this evolution of transition. And however long the phases last will vary. But Dave really came into my life at such a pivotal time, and I realized that I was in a giant transition and that I needed to just let go and embrace that. So Dave and I have recently crossed, and we actually share collaborative workspace at Collaboratory in Southwest Florida. So it was really, really inspiring to be a member of his community, Aldea Spiritual Community, to have a deeper dive into weariness. And I was able to hear, and Dave's such an amazing guy who holds this space that helps articulate and helps you better understand who you are. That's his gift. And as I listened back to the podcast that we recorded, I was like, wow, that is how I feel. And it's going from weary, which I didn't even know I was weary, to wellness, or living this life of optimal well-being. And what does that look like? So I'll go ahead and I'll include that link in the notes below, so that if you want to hear that conversation, it was so timely. And I think as we come out of this pandemic and then not understand, what does Delta mean? And, what is the economy doing? There's just a lot going on energetically right now. And understanding weariness and identifying that within ourselves, and then choosing, how do we manage that? How do we experience that? How do we move forward with that to live a life of optimal well-being? So thank you, Dave, for that really great conversation. And I'll share that link below. And then the second connection I was able to enjoy recently was with my soul sister and co-host of Raw Real Talks, Janet Namaste. And she was able to really hold space and help me better understand that when you're owning your truth, which I'm in the process of, not only are you doing that for self so that you can heal, but it's not from a place of expectation of others. And I do know that, but she just articulated it so well. I wanted to bring it back into this space as you're owning your truth, as you're sitting with self and embracing who you are. How are you then showing up and sharing your truth and using your courage? What does courage even mean when it comes to sharing your truth and owning that for self? And I can tell you what it doesn't mean. And it doesn't mean that you own your story and you share it with expectations of others and how they're going to receive it, how they're going to react, how they're going to perceive you. And really, my mindset shift of what courage means, and I shared this with Janet on Raw Real Talks, is courage used to mean to me like this big, energetic, giant lift, loud and hormone release and just, really, really vast. Where courage actually for me now is really subtle, and it's curious, and it's surreal, and it's letting go, and it's being in flow. So as folks have connected with me and shared maybe their experience, maybe reading my book or watching one of these videos, I get a lot of, you have so much courage. And I really was having a challenge digesting that. And really this week, between Dave and Janet and some other conversations that we've had in shared space, I was able to really understand, and I wanted to bring forth to you, as you get comfortable in your own skin, as you self-reflect, heal, love, actualize, when you're showing back up, that is to be showing back up with compassion, right, with serenity. And that's what takes courage, is showing up authentically and whole with who you are without attaching expectation to others. So as we're all, orbiting together and we're all interconnected. When you're showing up, that's one reflection, right? And you're doing that courageously, which is very surreal. But also if someone else is showing up and maybe they're not showing up from that same place of wholeness, are you pausing and allowing space and not judging or trying to change their journey? But are you showing up and do you have the courage to sit in that maybe discomfort and then release that experience and that judgment of that other person? And that's where the true growth happens, right? It's not about preaching your truth or your awareness onto others. It's about living it and showing up in it wholly, and then letting the cards fall where they may based on who crosses with you, because no one wants to be told what to do, how to think, what to believe in, how to be. None of us want that. But if you show up and you hold that space quietly, authentically, calmly, then you are providing that space for potential growth for the other person if they're ready, and that's a part of their path. So as always, it's a pleasure to connect with you guys. Please, please, please keep the comments coming. I can't tell you, especially this past week, there's just been some really deep introspective thoughts that you guys have been sharing. And that's like my kryptonite. That's what fuels me. I love being challenged. Oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way, or that's brilliant, So please keep your comments coming. And if you haven't already plugged into community, please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, because that does help get this out to others who may also benefit from our shared space. So with that, until next time, I hope you show up with courage in a place of serenity and wholeness, and be love. Bye.